Yo, what's up everyone? My name is Andrew Warren, and in today's video, we're going to be doing our transparency update as always. So if you're new here, that just includes me talking about my gains and losses for today. Unfortunately, just losses for today only. And so on top of that, we will be discussing Tesla stock as always, because that does take up a huge part of my portfolio at around 85% right now. So Tesla stock is always a hot topic. It's something that I'm constantly interested in learning more about, whether it's new news pieces or new stock movements or things going on with a company. It's definitely one of those companies that always has something going on, and that's kind of the benefit with investing in it, because you're constantly learning more about it. You're constantly seeing progress with this company, given that it's in the early stages of its growth. So as always, if you all do enjoy these transparency updates and of course the Tesla videos, please make sure to smash that like button. I really do appreciate it. But just getting into this one for today, as you can see, the portfolio is at $131,044.49. And surprisingly, in the normal market hours, we actually had a green day at plus 2.38%. That's plus $3,236.43. And in the after hours, we have gotten a significant decline at around minus 5.99%, which is minus $8,347.02. So this has been a really interesting day. For one thing, we had a green day when yesterday, just judging from the after hours, it was really far into the red, and it wasn't looking like it was going to be a green day for Tesla. But surprisingly for today, we actually ended the normal market hours in the positive. So that was a surprise in itself. And then with after hours as well, that's actually interesting because we have seen a sharp decline going on for the after hours after this 4 p.m. marker. So it actually started to incline a little bit up until this point at 5:15, and that's really when it just spiked downwards. So we have had a significant decline in the after hours, and I have to be honest, this decline does get me a little bit excited. And also, I do have some reasoning that I think can be attributed to this decline, given that we saw such a sharp spike downwards at this point in time. So just to go ahead and address that decline in after hours, as you can see, if we check out the news for Robinhood, it says the S&P 500 adds 3 companies not named Tesla, sending car company shares downwards. And so just for the sake of pure curiosity, I'll go ahead and show the reaction that we saw in the aftermarket hours for these 3 companies. So for the first company, we have one called Catalint. And this is one that actually had a red day today, but we saw a pretty notable surge in the after hours at plus 1.73%. So this was one of the 3 companies that was announced to be put into the S&P 500 today. Then we also have Etsy, which is one that actually had a pretty far into the red day. And then in after hours, we actually saw a pretty significant surge at plus 5.45%. And then finally, the third company today is Teradyne, and this was another one that had a pretty big red day, and in the after hours, we saw a plus 2.74% gain. So just for the sake of comparison, I wanted to show you all the reaction that we saw out of those 3 companies being included in the S&P 500. And of course, like I said, just inferring from everything, I think the reason that we saw such a notable spike downwards in the after hours is just because of the fact that some people are kind of disappointed that Tesla was not one of those 3 companies announced today, and there has been some rumors around this date of September 4th. So with this reaction in after hours, I think people are just negatively reacting to this news because Tesla wasn't one of those companies announced. However, this is not over yet for Tesla. Tesla can still be announced for the S&P 500. It's just a matter of when that happens. So there is a little bit of disappointment going on right now, and I think that's some of the reason as to why we're seeing a red day for after hours, but it was still going into the red a little bit even before we learned about those companies being in the S&P 500. So I think it was going to be a negative after hours anyways, but keep in mind, even with after hours, it doesn't really predict the next day very well consistently, just because, like, if we use yesterday as an example, the after hours for yesterday were really far into the negative, yet we ended up having a positive market day in the normal market hours for Tesla. So that's one of the main reasons why people say don't try to time the market. And so even though it looked kind of obvious that there would probably be a red day for Tesla today, it ended up being positive in the normal market hours. And then of course we do have what looks to be a possible red day tomorrow. But like I said, the after hours are not a consistent predictor of what the next day will look like. So that's just important to keep in mind. However, still, regardless, this is all interesting to me. And it gets me really excited just because of the fact that I realize there are some buying opportunities happening with Tesla right now. I'm still working on selling some things, getting some money here and there, and putting it into Tesla stock. So I will most likely be buying Tesla stock this month. I've tried to have full clarity on that situation. It's just a matter of when I can gather up some money to put into Tesla stock, and hopefully by that time, it will still be at a pretty significant discount. And honestly, like I've said in previous videos, since we're already down a little bit for Tesla over these past couple of days, I honestly wouldn't mind if we saw another huge drop for Tesla. Now, of course, for some investors that really just can't stomach these red days, that might not be a good thing for them, but as a long-term investor where I realize where this company could go in the future, and I think it's very likely that they remain the dominant EV automaker in the future, and even aside from that, remaining a dominant company in the energy sector and other business sectors as well. So a huge red day like yesterday actually does get me a little bit excited because I look for those opportunities, and I'm normally a dollar cost average person, but when I see a huge red day for a stock where it starts to open up some opportunities for me to buy in, then that's the day where I start really trying to gather some money and take advantage of that opportunity and invest aggressively. So just addressing whether we could be seeing a pullback for Tesla stock sometime this month, this is actually a really difficult one to predict just because we have such an interesting situation going on this month. Like I've said, we've been seeing some pullbacks with Tesla so far. However, it seems like we're starting to see a little bit more volatility, where yesterday had Tesla stock pretty much just crashing. Today it's in the green and then it's in the red for after hours. So we could see another red day for tomorrow. However, it's really difficult to predict what tomorrow will look like, especially with a stock like Tesla, where it's just naturally volatile at its stages where a lot of big news pieces aren't going on. But it's really interesting this month because of the fact that we have possible S&P 500 inclusion, and then we also have Tesla Battery Investor Day on September 22nd. So leading up to that date, things are going to get more and more interesting, I think, because as we know, people like to start factoring in things early with Tesla. Even up before the most recent quarter earnings in July, people started to buy Tesla a little bit early on and a few weeks before that earnings announcement. So hype definitely starts to build up with some of these events. So I'm really interested to see what happens with Tesla stock over these next couple of weeks. And like I said, it's going to be hard to predict just because Tesla is naturally volatile. And then also we have these specific situations going on right now in combination with a few possible events in the future just in a matter of like 22 days. So I wouldn't be surprised to either see some pullbacks over these next couple of days or simply just volatility. However, as things start to get closer to Battery Day, and especially if S&P 500 inclusion happens before Battery Day, then that could start to build up the hype train on Tesla once again. And then of course, as that buildup goes over time, it's kind of similar to what we saw with the stock split as well, where once the event actually happens, of course the day of the stock split was really solid, and then after that we started to see like a negative reaction where people were selling off, taking gains, panic selling, and things like that. However, a lot of the reasoning for that sell-off was because of the $5 billion share offering announcement. So I would be interested to see what Tesla stock would be at right now, or be at on Tuesday, if they had not announced that share offering. Still, I think we probably would have seen a similar situation where people finally just start to take some gains, take some profits, and then as people started to take profits, we'd likely see a snowball effect similar to what we've seen over these past few days, where if it starts to dip a little bit, other people start panic selling because they don't want to lose all of their gains that they've had so far. However, this is where investors like me have an advantage, where I'm not simply just focused on the short term for Tesla. Given the fact that it's all about the long term for Tesla for me, these days don't make any difference for me other than the fact on the red days I get shares cheaper. So that's honestly my perspective with everything. Of course, Tesla has always been viewed as at a premium price tag, but that's because there's so much clarity around the future of this company. And I've mentioned this before, but I've never really seen a company in the stock market like Tesla where the future is so clear. And of course, anything that I say or have said in this video is not to be considered financial advice, but I feel like that's where Tesla really has the advantage, and that's why there's such a premium price tag on Tesla shares, because the future is so clear. That clarity does exist, whereas with a lot of these other companies, you don't really know what the future is going to look like. However, at this point in time where Tesla is early in its growth stages, it's building more Gigafactories, and it continues to dominate, as we know this EV transition starts to happen even more as people transition from ICE vehicles to electric vehicles, we know this transition is already happening. We know that it's inevitable, and Tesla is already at the forefront of this new market that the general market will be transitioning to. So that's a huge advantage that Tesla has, and especially given the fact that they are in those early stages of growth and are continuing to scale right now, which is exactly what I want to see out of a company that I'm investing in. So anyways, just checking out the numbers for today, we have Tesla stock at minus 4.20%. That's minus $4,840.40. Keep in mind that this negative number is mostly because of what's going on with after hours right now. And then for the total return, we are at plus 44.75% or plus $34,330.69. And then next up, we have Apple stock at minus 0.57%. That's minus $115.92. And then for the total return for Apple, we are at plus 68.12% or plus $8,181.84. So in terms of the normal market hours, we actually had a pretty solid day, and after hours is really what's weighing everything down right now. So honestly, not a bad day, and I am getting a little bit more excited as we see Tesla start to fall a bit more, and I see these opportunities opening up. So anyways, please make sure to smash that like button if you all did enjoy this video, and also feel free to sign up to Robinhood and Webull in the description below. You can sign up with my referral link and you'll get some free stocks, and especially with Webull right now, you can get 2 free stocks valued up to $1,400 if you deposit $100 into your account and also use my referral link. And so that's basically nice passive income given the fact that you can take that $100 deposit right back out. It's basically just free stocks, free money. And also just a heads up, I am getting closer in this summer competition right now. I think I'm at number 46 place on referrals, and all I need to do is at least get to 20th place and I'll get a free Facebook stock. And I think last time I checked, Facebook is worth like $300 per share, so that could really help me out a ton. If you all want to sign up with Webull or even just check out the broker platform, all you have to do is use my referral link and then deposit that money into your account. You'll get some free stocks, and then you'll also help me get closer to winning this competition, which I had no clue that I would actually even get close to winning. So regardless, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week.